Hi folks, this is Don Schaefer. I am so excited to be with you once again. We have been digging into different principles, different ideas, trying to understand areas and ways of looking at things that God would have for us in life. And we're trying to get ourselves or discover the champion that is inside each and every one of you so that you can possibly get yourself into the position of reaching the possibilities of your life. Because God has created every one of us with a purpose in mind, and as we allow and understand His principles, we can learn how to be the person He's designed us to be. And I know last week we talked about a new day. We talked about the fact that God has blessed us every day with a brand new day. And what happens is we are to close the door on the past and keep the door shut on the future and live today. And do the things that we need to do and allow this day to fulfill us in great ways. And a lot of times in life, people get stuck because they're stuck in the past or they're waiting for something in the future. I know last week I talked a little bit about a gentleman I ran across that when he was young, he wanted to be a fireman. And when he got out of high school, he's got a job working with a glass company with a buddy. Not really what his dream was. But you know what? He is 61 years old right now, and he's still working with glass. He's not doing and fulfilling what his dream was meant to be. And that's where, if you look at life, God is all about new beginnings and making all things new. And He's wanting us to take the day and make what we want of this day. Now, this guy here, when he was 20 years old, when he was 21 or whatever it was, he could have taken one day to search out on how to become a fireman, possibly go to school, whatever it took to become a fireman, and stepped into that and started doing that so that he could say at the age of 61, you know what, I fulfilled my dream because I took a new day and I used it wisely. And that's where I want to encourage you to do that in your life. But this week I want to talk about a little bit something else, and it's called a new bloodline. And it's interesting in life because it is all about the blood. And so much of our life, people say, well, the guy is going to be great someday. You know why? Because it's in his blood. It's in his blood. His dad was good at whatever the circumstances be, so we'll give him a chance because it's in his blood. Or if somebody is bad or doing something that's not good, you say, well, you know what? I don't know if I can trust that kid because I know his bloodline. I know, what he's been through, and I don't know if I can trust all that. And I know horse racers. Horse racers, it's all about thoroughbreds. They've got actually blood agents that they can hire to search out horses to find out what their lineage is, to find out who their father, great-grandfather, whatever horse was, and what they did, because they realize great horse racers usually have a bloodline. They usually have a bloodline of greatness in them, and that's where they'll pay up to $1 million to breed and have a young horse that has a good bloodline, and they can train this horse and allow it to become a racer. And that's where in our life it's the same thing. When we come to God, we open up our life to God, He changes our bloodline. It's a blood transfusion. All of a sudden we have a spiritual bloodline that goes all the way back to Abraham. All the greatness and everything that's been done throughout mankind, we are connected with that because we're part of His bloodline. We're part of God's bloodline and the goodness of Him. And that's where we have to realize that when we open up our life, there's changes that take place. There is nothing more exciting for me, and I've seen this numerous times, where I've shared the Word of God with individuals and it was instant. Instantly they believed, instantly they opened up their heart and they wanted everything God wanted for them, and all of a sudden, instantly, they had a new bloodline. All of a sudden their capabilities changed. The way they talked, the way they saw things, the way they did things, everything seemed to change. What caused all that? They got themselves a new bloodline. And that's why I want to encourage you to take this thought and think about it and look at your life and say, hey, you know what? If there's areas that are a little bit weak, maybe I need to tap in and reach out. Maybe I need a new bloodline. Maybe I need a transfusion today, so that I can have a new blood flowing in my veins, that I can be the person that God has designed me to be. And I want to thank you folks for being with me today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you.